I thought this might be kind of a cool thing to watch happen. So I'm adding a new event section in userattribution.com. So I have this loaded up in localhost. Basically what I'm trying to give people the ability to do is create create events in a particular order. So here I just have dummy data 1, 2, and 3. And I created this by giving it a sample of the code for this groups page. So groups is a little bit similar structure, a little bit more complicated even. There's delete buttons, and you can have a top level group name, and then each group has a subsection right here. So under dashboard, what that's doing is, so this landing and what pages are being accounted for under this landing group is set by the groups here. So I have landing down here, and these two, anything, these are kind of, this is a regex in here, but yeah, anyways, the landing group is, or the grouping is being driven by this groups page. So once let me cancel this so I can close this. So I created a little prompt, and I'm just using ChatGPT 4.0. I do think that Anthropic's Sonnet 3.5 is amazing and works amazingly well. I just don't have a paid subscription for it right now. And ChatGPT is working fine. So let me just update the code and see if this works. The first version that it came out with, works okay. So I can do 1, add event, 2, 3. The enter button is still saving the whole form, which is okay. But if I go in here and click save, let's see what comes back on the server side. Group settings, so nothing's coming back on the server side yet. So there's a little bit of a bug there. But let's just go through the front end. So it just updated this code. I am in Cursor, which I know there's a chat in Cursor. I'll get used to that workflow. And I do use it a little bit, the chat in Cursor. It's pretty good. But let's just see what this thing did. So I asked it to add these up arrows and down arrows to do the ordering, and let's see how it did. Yeah, this looks like it's working great. I might want to ask it to disable these if it's the last item, or disable this one if it's the first item. But other than that, I do think it's working pretty well. So this is really it. I mean, I do this on the front end and the back end now. I of course know how to write all this code manually, but I don't know why I would do that. It's 10 times faster if I can just throw it in ChatGPT. Just so we can see examples of both, why don't we go through and actually update the second part of this instead of using ChatGPT. I'm going to use Cursor. So the not bug here, but the improvement I'd like to make is this first item in the array, this up arrow, doesn't do anything, as it shouldn't, because it's the first item there, and this last item doesn't do anything either. So I'm going to ask it to remove the up arrow array, and if it's last. I do type English pigeon into these things generally, and it's absolutely fine. So pardon that, but it's going to generate this, and I have a feeling it's going to do just fine. But let's see how this does. Auto lint it. So event index, events.length -1. So if it's the last one, this is only going to show if it's not the last one. This is only going to show if it's not the first one. So yeah, this is exactly right. This is exactly what I wanted. Perfect. So that's how you code these days with, at least on the front end. Maybe we'll do a back end example, but I'm doing more or less the same thing on the back end too. But this is how you code with Cursor.